Shine Teachers Guides help teachers plan sessions that build community and nurture children's faith. It explains how all of those parts of the curriculum, all the component parts, fit together and what you do with them. Each session is 6 pages long, 3 2-page spreads. The first 2 pages are prepare. They're preparation for the session. This is preparation for the teacher. It's nurture for the teacher. It helps nurture the spiritual life of the leader and helps teachers get themselves ready for the session. Prayer is the first part of it. Next comes the purpose statement. Purpose statement briefly explains why this text is chosen for this session. And then there's a quick summary, quick overview of the story itself. Teaching tips are for each specific age group, and they give advice about that age group, perhaps how the session itself relates to that age group, and there are often kind of heads up kind of tips there. This is what's going to be happening in the session. You might want to be prepared in some way. And then the page across from that is Dig Deeper. It is the Bible essay. Though written by biblical scholars, it's clear and accessible to ordinary people to read, and offers how that particular text fits in the context of the whole of the Bible. It might offer information about the time period, biblical time period.
The next 2 pages begin the session that will be shared with the children. Gather includes build community, Bible memory, worship together, and spiritual practice. Build community provides ideas to begin the session. This helps children feel a part of the group and points toward the theme of the session. Each quarter has 1 or 2 Bible memory passages. Bible memory is practiced each week and uses a poster from the poster pack. Worship Together provides suggestions for music and prayer. Opening worship prepares the children to hear the story. Spiritual practice comes next in the flow of the session. This includes an age-appropriate way for children to connect with God and nurture the inner life of the Spirit. Sometimes the spiritual practice fits better later in the session, perhaps after the Bible story, and in that case, a note is given here telling when and how to do that spiritual practice. In the margins, the supplies are listed for each section, and there's a to-do list that also highlights preparations that need to be made prior to the session. Media Connections lists books, websites, music, art, or other resources that go along with the session. And these are meant to be a beginning point. Postings from the internet can change, and they come from a wide variety of sources and perspectives, so we really encourage teachers to preview all the media before they use it in the classroom.
The experience part of the session includes sharing the story, wonder and reflect, and piece notes. Share the Story offers engaging ways to share the Bible story and involve children in telling of the story. Each early childhood story is found on story cards in the resource pack. Primary, middle, and multi-age stories are found in Shine On Story Bible. Junior youth is a little bit different. Junior youth groups read directly from the Bible, and this section, called Share the Story, will have a plan for how to do that reading, done in a variety of ways, so that it's not always just the verse-by-verse reading, but there will be some kind of interesting way of reading the sections that they're supposed to be reading in the Bible. Wonder and Reflect always follows right afterwards and provides a way for children to imagine themselves as a part of the story, provides a way for older children and youth to ponder things in the story and process it and make it their own. It helps people see the story in a new way and connect the story to their own experiences. Piece notes highlight connections to Jesus' life and teachings, And peace notes point to the Old Testament concept of shalom, that holistic view of peace that means wholeness, right relationship with God, with neighbor, with creation, with self. Children can ponder ways to express their faith through lives of peacemaking and service in this section. There are 4 basic explore options. They are create, move, retell, and some use of the student leaflet or the student magazine. The student magazine and leaflet may also be used in create, retell, and move, but a specific one is focused just on that. Create is either open-ended art activity or a craft project. Move is just what it sounds like. It's that bodily kinesthetic part, it's moving. And retell is an interactive way of recalling the story. It involves the children in some way of recalling the story and making it their own again. Sometimes there are other options that replace one of those 4. For younger children, sometimes it's discover, which is a sensory activity. For older children, a substitute for one of those basic ones would be talk about, a discussion-based kind of activity, talking about. And connect might be one of the options too. And connect is seeing how it connects with broader themes in the Bible, seeing comparisons, pairing texts, that sort of thing. If there aren't enough ideas already, there are always other ideas. Briefly explained other ideas that you could also do with this session. And so I repeat, there are plenty of choices. No one is expected to do all of them.
The final portion of the session for children is called Bless. This involves pray and send, which is music and prayer options and a scriptural blessing to share with the children before they leave. Each session includes an inspirational quote or a teacher tip from a Sunday school teacher or someone involved in faith formation. The leader's closing prayer includes food for thought and spiritual nurture for the leader. This serves as a reminder of God's presence and the importance of the ministry of teaching. Occasionally, there is a section called Looking Ahead that will highlight special supplies or preparations that might take a little bit longer to do before one of the later sessions.